first started the symposium 7 years ago, we had 100 participants. We had maybe 15 countries. We certainly did not have 100 presentations. So just in terms of the growth of this and your goodwill in terms of your participation, we're very appreciative. We have travelers that have come from all over, including Australia, South Africa, India. It's kind of hard to compete in terms of who has the worst jet lag. So appreciation to all of you, just in regards to your travels. And again, as Robert has acknowledged in regards to our colleagues from Egypt, Tunisia, and UAE, the Ministry of Education who have joined us. I'd like the representatives from the mEducation Alliance Steering Committee to please stand up and be acknowledged by our participants as well for your contributions. Where are the Steering Committee representatives? Yeah. Okay. And I would invite you to take advantage of these representatives to find out about their great works, including we'll have a session tomorrow that'll be an opportunity to have informal conversations with representatives from these organizations to find out more about their programming. We will talk about some of the formats for this year's event. Will include gallery walks and technology demonstrations. For those of you who are presenters and you're not familiar with gallery walks, do not be concerned. A gallery walk is a great format for you to be able to share your experiences with your colleagues and to actually have more of an informal exchange. So I think at the end of your gallery walks, you'll find that it was a useful way to be able to share your experiences. We also have short presentations, and we ask for those individuals who are involved with short presentations or gallery walks, again, in anticipation of your sessions, notwithstanding the session that's just about to start, please make sure that your presentations are ready to go before your sessions, and there's a number of volunteers that can help you do that. So in thinking about the theme of this year's event, the vision, right? I don't know how many of others of you thought about, oh, 2020, that relates to vision as well, you know? And so I was thinking about it in terms of vision, right? That farsightedness, right? Farsightedness, there's two definitions of farsightedness, right? I would imagine that most individuals in this room have been competitively selected because of the second definition of farsightedness, which is future thinking, right? Visionaries, right? And so congratulating you for the efforts that you've taken to date so far to get here, where hopefully we can help you advance in the future and what your accomplishments will be in 2020. That's one definition of farsightedness. The other, which is, having recently turned 50 years of age, I realized I need my reading glasses most of the time. And without my reading glasses, including for my notes, which I forgot to bring my reading glasses, it's somewhat challenging to be able to read small text, right? This is really important. So it's the second, now it's something important to look at the combination of that definition for farsightedness, right? Not being able to see things close up. While we are aspirational and all contributors to how we can use technology to advance in the education space, again, while we are here to work together, we also know that the challenges that we face in education are extremely daunting. And if we're not careful, that will we project certain inequalities about technology use that we may be fortunate to have access to in more resource settings, to those settings and lower resource settings. So clearly something that we don't want to do is not be too far-sighted without sort of acknowledging these challenges. So that's far-sighted, right? Now nearsighted, which is interesting in Webster Dictionary, doesn't have two definitions, right? It's just like myopia, just being not having a sense of the future. And I don't think that's fair. I think there should also be people that say, hey Tom, I understand you're a nearsighted visionary. How come people don't say that? Yeah, so you're a nearsighted thinker, right? Because we know that the day-to-day challenges that we have in education, what we're facing, lack of resources, inefficient attention to local language resources, not having enough resources for teacher training, natural disasters. For those of us that are working in development, it's a day-to-day reality. And how do we pair these two visions together? So I think in some respects, my challenge is the opportunity for us to work with those far-sighted and nearsighted colleagues. We should all work together, basically figuring out how we can amplify the use of technology in education and while still addressing the day-to-day challenges that we have. So I hope we'll have converted some of the far-sighted participants to also become nearsighted thinkers by the end of the conference as well. Lastly, I would like to thank our sponsors, in terms, as Robert had said, for providing support for the symposium. In addition to the steering committee members that provide support in planning the program, truly this event would not be possible without the support of our sponsors. And I would like to ask our sponsor representatives to please stand up. And to be acknowledged. Thank you so much. Now, as you go into your next sessions, and building upon the spirit of 2020 vision, we have a piece of technology that we would like to provide you that will help in this regard. Our piece of technology are sunglasses, which will serve multiple purposes in the course of this conference. The first of which is, for those of you who've been here before, it gets rather bright in this room, and having sunglasses will be useful. The second of which is, we would like you to wear your sunglasses, or to appropriately have it on your attire, to remind us in terms of this Vision 2020, and to make sure that we can use that in terms of a reminder in terms of thinking about working backwards from 2020. I will tell you, are there any colleagues here from South Africa? I know there are colleagues from South Africa. Yeah? These glasses are not eclipse friendly. So do not miss, even though we got them at a bargain basement price, do not use them for the next eclipse in South Africa. Nor are they prescription ready. However, think about what our epic photo will be at the end of this event when we're all wearing our sunglasses. So we encourage you to bring them at the end. So without further ado, I'd like to then invite you to go to the various sessions that you will be participating or presenting in, and thank you all for joining us for this year's symposium.